Second, help must come from it.
Yes.
Like upside down like this.
You know it.
We will dazzle you with real life situations and examine mind-blowing topics.
Bobby says he can pay me. I want to show him cash. Good one.
So is that what it's about?
Oh yes.
83 charge.
Join me, Frema Dunyame.
And me, Ato Kwamna, every Sunday at 7 p.m. on City TV. Are you ready?
Upside Down, every Sunday, 7 p.m. only on City TV.
Hello there, and welcome to another exciting edition of your favorite all-women talk show, Sister Sister, on City TV and also on City FM. We're live on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. So, pick your choice of how you'd like to view this show and follow along, because it's just about to get really, really exciting. For the next 60 minutes, we're going to be talking about relationships and all the stuff that comes up from time to time, to complicate it, sometimes to make it better, to give people a rethink, and so much more. So coming up on the show today, how do you deal with an extremely generous boyfriend? Is that a problem? I know some women who actually like that. And he doesn't want this married woman, but he also doesn't want to hurt her feelings. And he's written to Sister Sister for help on how to proceed. Plus, his wife is a chronic cheat and he hates her. How does he leave such a marriage? All these and more we deal with as we go along. So stay tuned. I'll be letting you know exactly what you need to do to be a part of this show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sister Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. So before we get into our stories today, let me share with you the various ways in which you can be part of the show. First, you can send a WhatsApp message to 054-998-6996. Alternatively, you can send a quick email to jessica@cityfmonline.com or search for us on Facebook. Our community is growing and we're totally excited about that. Search for Sister Sister Live, like our page. There's some really exciting interactions that go on there, and you don't want to miss out on those. Okay, so that's how you can reach us on the show today. Let's say hello to my sisters in his house, and I'll start from in studio. I've got Tina sitting right here looking radiant. How you doing, sister?
I'm fine. You look splendid.
Thank you. I'm learning from you.
Oh, please. Oh, please. But good to see you.
Bad yourself, yeah. You know that.
Yeah. But you look good.
It's okay. You also look good.
Okay.
So we can do. We can do this like till the show ends, right?
So let's just stop it.
All right. So let's just go. We've got Olivia also on the line. What's going on, girlfriend? Hi.
Good. I'm good. I see you guys. Tina looking fantastic. You two are popping with your navy blue and stuff.
I know. I should be wearing more blue, Charlie. I should be wearing more blue.
You should.
Good. All right. Well, Livy, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We also have Rosina on the line. Hello, Rosie.
Hi, Jessica. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you keeping?
Oh, I'm fine.
You're fine.
I'm on the lockdown.
Yeah, of some
I did look
sort.
forward to this so that I'll have a chance to be with the outside world a little bit.
I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. Well, thank you very much for making time to join us again this week. Really appreciate it. Ladies, we'll go right into action
Always,
without much ado.
always.
Yeah? Alrighty. So this one says, Dear Jessica, I dated my wife for 3 years before we tied the knot in August last year. We both agreed not to have sex before marriage. I was a virgin when I married my wife, and she made me believe she was also a virgin, even though that wasn't my priority. After marriage, I saw messages on her phone with another guy that suggested that she had been cheating on me those 3 years. She denied ever cheating on me when I asked her until I showed her screenshots of her messages with the said guy. Then she accepted and pleaded for forgiveness because she had stopped dating the guy prior to our marriage. I realized that the nickname I have been calling my wife for the past 2 years was actually the guy's nickname. I discovered that my wife was spending weekends and nights at the guy's house a few months to our marriage. Ever since things became clear, I've lost all interest in my wife. Seeing her face only makes me angry. I don't see myself ever trusting her again. Even though we don't have children yet, I doubt my heart will accept any children from her. My father. I'm not happy with her presence too. She's the only woman I've ever been with. I loved her so much that my friends still call me by that nickname because of the love I had for her. I just hate her so much right now. What should I do? And this is coming in from Prince. Okay, this is interesting. For a change, it's the woman who's the chronic cheats, maybe. Tina, you want to go first?
Okay, no worries. So I'm sorry for what you're going through, Prince. It's quite heavy for you to find out, shortly after you've gotten married, that all along you've been the one who's been cheated on. And things can be very heavy when you've trusted somebody for so long and you've put everything you have into this relationship, and then only to find out that after going through a whole wedding ceremony and everything, this woman is not to be trusted. You used a word that says hate. Hate is a really strong word. And for you to say that, it means that you are at a point where you haven't really come to terms with what has happened. You keep on thinking, because you just found out. So you keep on thinking, so all this while, it keeps hitting you in different ways. And every time you see her, it's just like, really? All this while, this is what you've been doing to me. It's quite difficult, because if you were going to get married and you found out just before getting married, you can walk out of the relationship and say that, and right now you are considering divorce. I mean, divorce is the easier option, and it's actually, for the word that you use, hate, is actually the option to take. But the thing is, you won't be granted a divorce that easily, since you just got married. You would be asked to use better channels before you resort to divorce. Right. And that will be reconciliation, separation, and all that. So yes, not forget about your family. This is your life. This is the situation you find yourself in. Time heals all things. But because you are still in the same space with this woman and you haven't still reconciled everything that has happened, I think what I will advise is for you to separate yourself. Take time off. Take some few days or few weeks or few months off. Go to another place. Don't stay in the same space. Now go through the whole process. Think about what you want to do thoroughly and come to a decision, because you haven't had time to really process what's happening. So process it, take your options, come back to the drawing board and see what you want to do. Okay. Because time will make things clearer for you.
Yeah. All right, Olivia, let's see what you have to say about this one. I mean, they dated for 3 years before they got married. We need to find out there's someone in the picture at some point.
Yeah. I mean, Tina hit the nail right on the head when she, went back to the guy's words regarding hate. The fact that he just hates her right now. He doesn't want to have anything to do with her. And it's sad. You know, a new marriage on rocks like that just because of trust. And trust is very important in every marriage. And he feels really, really bad. And I feel so bad for him. And, you know, when he was suspecting and he confronted her the first time, had she admitted it, it wouldn't have felt as terrible as him having evidence and, you know, putting her to it and saying that, hey, Masa, this is what I saw. You know, so he's probably sitting back and asking himself, I mean, for how long would you have lied to me? And it takes me back to when my husband and I started dating, and he had come out from a very terrible relationship. And he said to me, one thing that he hates in his life is lies. You know, so I've been brought up to speak the truth no matter what. I'm such a terrible liar. It's not even funny. And I'm happy that I'm not a liar. But my point is, every foundation, you know, every relationship, the foundation is trust. You should be able to look your partner in the eyes and know that, oh, what they're telling me is the truth. You know, their yes is their yes and their no is their no. So he's broken. And I mean, Tina couldn't have said it any better. They're just not going to let you off the hook like that. Definitely something about to her. And she said she's very sorry. She's apologized, okay? I know that you're not in the right frame of mind, or your heart doesn't even feel like you want to forgive her right now. But for now, all I can say is give it time. Give it time. Give yourself space away from her. Sit back, reflect, and decide exactly what you want. I don't want to call it a lost case, and it's going to be hard. You know, trusting someone like this is going to be hard. But bottom line, is the love that you used to feel for her enough, you know, to be able to forgive her, considering that she's asked for forgiveness? And what do you ultimately want? Do you have a bit of love in your heart to make the relationship work? Are you ready to forgive her and move on? Those are the serious questions you want to ask. Or if you don't want the relationship anymore, well, just know that divorce, like you said, I mean, you're looking at, it's an option, but it's not going to come in easy. So I'm sorry I couldn't be of as much help to you, but I hope that you take some time, sit back, reflect, and decide exactly what you want, and know that it's not any which way you choose, it's not going to be easy. Whether you decide to go on the divorce route or not, it's still not going to be easy. But I wish that you could go back to the love that you feel for her and see if you can make it work.
All right, Rosina, I'd like you to come in on this one. I mean, does it matter that, at least with what he's discovered, he realized that she was cheating before they got married, and perhaps, you know, since they tied the knot, that's not happening? Should it count at all in his final decision making?
Ideally, yes, it should count. But realistically, I mean, it depends on how he wants to look at everything, because I have a feeling that this woman probably thought that he was a real deal and didn't want to lose him, and wanted to present a very chaste front, like she was a woman who was very chaste and worthy enough to be married and all of that. And that's what got her into that light to begin with. And I don't know why a lot of women feel that they need to present themselves as something they are not, just because they want to get the Mrs. certificate. And this is how it gets to bite you in the end, because then you are presenting something that you're clearly not. And I think it's very hurtful, because over the past 3 years, and we're looking at 36 months, you have denied this man of any form of intimacy. You've told him a lie that you're not interested to marry. Meanwhile, you are busily intimating yourself somewhere. That is, if that is a word, you understand? And it's very painful to feel that he respected your wishes and stood by your principles, quote unquote, only to find out that these were never your principles. It was probably just a lie to get me to be your husband. So which means that the marriage is actually founded on a lie. And my question to him is that over the past 3 years, was he also faithful? Was he also chaste? Was he also waiting for her for the 3 years to be up? You see, sometimes your matter becomes horrible if you are caught. Right? If you are not caught, maybe it's not really a big deal. But my thing to him here is that, you see, everybody has things they can forgive and look past. And people have things that will bite them in their flesh. Like, no matter how you look at it, counselors will come in, people will come in and talk, for better, for worse, for whatever. But if it really aches you that much, don't waste your time in the marriage. Otherwise, and the good thing is that both of you don't have kids yet, so there's nothing really binding you. Otherwise, if you probably make the mistake of bringing a child into the marriage, like he rightly said, they might not even trust where that child is coming from to begin with. And he would always be second guessing her. I can imagine a lot of fights every night. Where are you? Who are you with? Are you sure this person is your colleague? Are you sure this person is that? I mean, the whole relationship will be built on mistrust. So my thing is that, look, it's unfortunate the lady did this. And this is a caution to all ladies. Charlie, if you want to get married, go with your real face. Let them know what you like and what you don't like. Let them see the true you. That way, nothing comes as a shock. In fact, even when you go as your true you cry, you still encounter shocks. How much more if you pretend to be something you are not? And I mean, she has laid her bed. I mean, she should lie in it. And for the man, if the man wants to leave, I think I would support him 100%. He should leave. But it doesn't mean that he shouldn't forgive her, because it's not the worst crime on the planet. But if he can't live with her, don't lie to yourself and say you can live with her. Just leave her as early as possible, so both of you can actually get a life that both of you be happy in.
It reminds me, a couple of years ago, I was having a chat with a male friend of mine, and he was telling me about how his wife was cheating on him. And my next question, because he talks to me a lot. My next question to him was, well, have you been faithful? And his answer was, but I haven't been caught. And I thought that was quite interesting because it's like when the shoe is on the other foot, suddenly you're judgmental
it doesn't work.
And then but you've been doing the same thing. So I love that question that Rosina put out there. Were you faithful? And it doesn't mean that you necessarily had to break your virginity to be unfaithful.
Actually,
there were other things. You could be emotionally vested in some other person. There were probably 3 other women before you decided to. I'm just saying, but generally, just taking this story at face value, if you can't trust her, that's going to be a hard thing. Because as the ladies have said, relationships are built on trust. Let me bring in a couple of our viewers. Edmund says, once a cheat, always a cheat. Divorce her, maintain your sanity. Cheers. Elik Blim says, nowhere cool. Stand in front of a mirror and repeat this 100 times. For better, for worse. Thank me later. Lovely says, when some of us are praying for a man who will say no to sex till marriage, you get and you play gala with it. Massa, divorce her sharp and save your sanity. Hans says, in fact, when I hear independent adults saying that their family members, especially their fathers, won't agree to a decision on an issue that's affecting they themselves, but not their family members, nor their fathers, I simply wonder what kind of adults they really are. My God, when will people really grow up maturely? Your wife is a cheat and a liar who has taken you for a fool all this while. Yet you're hesitating on a divorce because of what your family members will say? My brother, you'll be doing yourself a great disservice by continuing that marriage, all in the name of what others might think of you. Queenie says, when women get innocent virgins like this, then they are fooling. Something most women are praying for. Then this man will get a good woman, then he'll also start fooling because his first lady cheated on him. What a world. Georgette says, Mr. Prince, please, divorce is not the best option, but I would advise you to forgive her since she has told you everything. So please forgive her and forget, since you said that you love her so much. Nana says, this one, the Bible supports it. Divorce her sharp. Don't waste time. Cry. Mama says, I don't see the need in staying in this marriage. I'm not an advocate for divorce, but it will be better for both of you to separate rather to end up killing yourselves. As for your family, they'll come to understand you with time. Don't give them any details. It's going to be hard to avoid the topic, but try your best. Don't tarnish her image. Just leave her to karma. And finally, Linda says, I understand how you feel, brother, but if you can forgive her, please give it a try. It's not easy, though. It takes time. But you can, if only you give her the chance. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, I have yet another email to address.
And stay together, even if you're apart. And it's in the ingenuity of all those who are making a difference. Thank you to everyone still getting things done. Your Africanacity inspires us.
This week on Art and Soul.
Fashion is something that you have to go under training, apprenticeship. Yeah, you have to learn, not book. The book is not a job, but the field is the job. Sitting on the machine, sewing, that's the fashion thing. That's the main thing, because we have some designs, they will just sketch it on paper. You see it nice on paper, but when we come to the factory where the machine is, you see things will change.
Art and soul, art, yeah, soul, art and soul, art, soul, art and soul.
Welcome back to Sister Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. Remember, your comments are always welcome to the platform on our WhatsApp number showing on your screen, 054-998-6996. We'll go right ahead into our next email I received, and here it is.
Hi, sisters. I would want you to help me make a good decision. I've been dating this guy for 3 years. When we started dating, someone told me that he had a child from his previous relationship. I never knew about this. I asked him about it and he admitted and explained that his ex had an affair with another guy which resulted in their breakup. He went on to say that he had planned to tell me before we got married. I told him I never planned to get involved with a man that already has children. Reason being that, in most cases, the children cause confusion in the house. I told him I would tolerate everything about the child, but not his ex. He agreed, so we were living our lives. I later found out that my boyfriend had bought teacher training college forms for his ex. I asked him why he did that, and he said he is securing a future for his child because she is the only one who will take good care of his child in case he dies. Sisters, I suspect he still has feelings for her. Her frequent calls demanding for school items and other things have caused a lot of confusion in our relationship. And I'm almost opting out. I don't know why he will still pay her fees aside taking care of his child and sending her money every month, of which I contribute to. Kindly help me make a decision.
That's quite an interesting one, I must say. Olivia, let me come to you first. I don't know what you think about this one. I mean, ex, okay, you have a child, that's fine. You take care of your child, and you're taking your baby mama to school. Wow, paying for it, Charlie, take it away.
Wow, this is just crazy. It's like he's breaking the baggage from his previous relationship into his new relationship, and he's not allowing his new relationship to grow. And the sad thing is that he's not even empathetic of how his girlfriend currently feels. I mean, they've spoken about it, which is good, right? But he's adamant. He's like, okay, it is what it is. Yes, nobody has asked him not to take up responsibility of his child, but not when another woman is involved and not when her feelings are involved, you see. And he doesn't, I feel like no matter how many times you talk to him or you let him understand that you're uncomfortable with his relationship with his ex, he will never understand. Okay, because in his mind, he's looking to still play a father figure for his child. Okay, so he will never be able to understand where you're coming from. Already you guys are having fights about how often he's on the line with his baby mama, what's going on. And it's unnecessary friction for a young relationship that's new. You're supposed to enjoy it on a clean slate, enjoy each other, go through regular tough times, but he's lackadaisical. He's like, okay. And on another hand, I can't quite blame him too. The only part I'll blame him for is entertaining their baby mama too much. At the end of the day, what exactly does he need to support the child? If it's money, okay, mobile money is to her, put the money in her account and then move on. The fact that he keeps entertaining her, paying her school fees, this is not the child we're talking about. This is the woman, the ex-woman we're talking about. So he's still investing his time on the phone with her, investing his resources with her, and he expects that you'll sit down and appreciate that it is what it is. I'm sorry, me, Olivia Amalekoson, I will not be in a relationship like that. I will not give myself mental illness. I will not end up walking on the streets and just talking and blabbing because he just doesn't understand where you're coming from. My dear, you're young, you're beautiful, you have your whole life ahead of you. If you feel that this thing will give you stress, Charlie, don't stress. Life is too short. 1 minute you're here, the next you're not. Create an environment whereby your children will thrive. This is you. This is your husband. This is your family, your children. This is what you're doing together to make it work. The last thing that you want is drama from baby mama coming in, especially when the guy doesn't even understand you. So you're fighting a losing battle. Had he understood you, it would have been a completely different story. But he doesn't understand you. He's not pathetic of what you're talking about. He just doesn't get it. And to sweetheart, the patrol, this one is easy. You don't have any children with him. You've invested too bad. But my dear, pick your bags and just go. And moving forward, at least you know that this is not the kind of relationship that you want. Because trust me, I feel like I always say, it's a recipe for disaster. Because you have kids coming in, nah. In the near future, no, I beg you, sister, I beg grand. You get some guy who is single enough who concentrates on you. Okay, and just chill.
All right, Rosina, let me come to you. Is it really that bad? So maybe he's a very thoughtful guy, he's thinking beyond just taking care of his child, wanting his baby mama to be in a better place just in case he dies. It might not be a bad thing.
It is actually not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because you see, it's not everybody who has the heart to look after somebody's child or to be in a relationship with somebody who has another child. So you're either in or out. Now, sometimes you need to put yourself in the other woman's shoes. What if it was you who had a baby with another man and the woman he's with now doesn't want you to look after your child or take... it doesn't work. And the man is very right by saying that if he supports the other woman to probably go to school and probably be independent, in the end, it means that his support towards the child will probably be lessened because then he will now equip the woman to be in a better place to take care of the child. And like he said, especially if he's no more. So I don't think that there's a bit of a problem. The problem here is if there was no issue, you didn't have any child with the woman, and yet the man is always finding ways and means of entertaining the ex and being with the ex, then you know that there's reason for concern. But if they have a child, and you know they have a child, and you claim you're okay with it, trust me, the woman is going to call every time. I don't see why you should have a problem with the woman calling for school fees for the child. I don't understand. What do you want the woman to do? So some of these things, let's not lie to ourselves when we get into relationships. Know what you can handle and what you can't handle. If you know that you can't handle a man who has children elsewhere, please don't get into it. If you know that you can't handle, if you know you can, just don't get into it. We are quick to forgive or to make light of certain things that we know that are issues for us because we quickly want to get married. We want to take that box, or we feel like we've invested 1 year into the relationship, and because of that 1 year, you don't want to just leave and waste that 1 year. But it's better to waste that 1 year than to waste another 6 years or a lifetime of agony and stress and, all kinds of emotional, So I think that the man has done nothing wrong. The man didn't deny it. The man has told you, yes, he has a child. He was going to tell you before they got married. So you knew, you're not even married yet, but you knew. So it's up to you to decide whether to stay or to leave. Now the child is taking care of his child and has bought forms for the ex to go to school. You are complaining. Charlie, my dear, you're not even married to the guy yet. You're not married to the guy yet. So what if in the process you also probably get pregnant and he decides that, Charlie, this is not what I want. You are nagging too much about my ex girlfriend and then the child, and he decides to move on to a third party. What do you want him to do to you? So some of these things, all I keep saying is that, look, that's the real world. So if you know you can't handle it, don't sign up for it. Luckily for you, it's not like you are married and you found out whilst you were married. My submissions would have been different. But you found out before marriage. So you have every right to just walk out of it if you think you can handle it. Period.
Right. All right, Tina. So it's split. It seems. Rosina says it's not necessarily, basically a bad thing. What's happening? Yeah.
Well, I think differently.
Okay.
First of all, she didn't find out through him. She found out from somewhere else.
That he had the child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Confronted him before he confessed and said he was going to tell her before marriage. That's one. Two. She's playing wife material when she's not wife. See, it's very difficult and it's easier said than done that don't play wife when you're not a wife. But it's actually really important because now she's contributing to taking care of a baby mama when she's actually not wife.
Yeah.
So that is why she is emotionally invested. She is financially vested as well. She is there, like she is present. And so her complaints are based on the fact that she's everywhere and they are also everywhere. The baby mama and the child are everywhere in their lives. And she's not even legally married to this man.
Right.
She also raised her concerns right from the beginning that when she found out that he had a child, she said, I don't want to get involved with someone who has a child. And he now said, I promise I'm not going to involve this woman in my life. She later found out that he had bought forms for her. So you see, it's not like she's been hiding. Yeah,
he's been hiding stuff.
He's been hiding things. To me, this is how I see the whole thing. He said that I only left her because she cheated on me. It's not like I don't love her anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that they have something, they have a bond, they have a child together, and that is not small feat. Having a child together, that process alone is very, very binding. And so for me, I see that the man is eating his cake. His
cake is trying to eat his cake and have it.
Yes. He's eating the big cake with the child, and he has a small cake. Yes, that he is on his way to, glory. This is what I think. If you can't handle it, get out. Get out before it's too late. Get out before you seal it legally, and then you are trapped and you can't breathe anymore. Now, don't play wife. Any savings you have or anything you're doing, let it be towards your marriage. Have a separate account. Don't contribute. If he wants to contribute to the wellness of his baby mama and the child, let him do it by himself. Let him treat that as a separate thing from what you and him will do, so that you know that you have an independent relationship of his baby mama and the child. By all means, they'll be in your life. As for that, but if you're not willing to work it a day at a time, sorry, it won't work. So this is what I'm telling you. You need to think through again. You need to know that they are going to be in your life forever. Can you deal with it? If you can't, get out.
Right.
And then also keep your money separate. Don't contribute to any fund that is taking care of the baby mama and the child.
Right.
Your money is your money.
Okay, I think you hit the nail on the head there. For me, what jumps out, from this lady's submission is, one, the fact that she says she never planned to have or to marry a guy who has children. So it's obviously a big deal for her. So you're lucky that you're not married to the guy. you know, so if you're having all these and then there's the ex and having to deal with that as well, this is not for you. It's straightforward. It's not for you. So this is the confirmation that you need. But of course, the final decision is yours to take. A couple of your messages. Tricia says, put yourself in the baby mama's shoe for once. If you need help to further your education, who else will you count on other than the father of your child? Just leave the relationship and find yourself a better man, because you stand a lot to lose than the lady. A child bonds them naturally, and they both have no control over it. Aku says, sister, please leave the relationship. They haven't ended the relationship. Find peace somewhere else. King says, you have been colonized to take care of someone else. My sister, please quit. This is unpalatable. Afi says, madam, please exit for your own peace of mind, because you see, this baby mama will forever be in the picture for as long as the child exists. It's a big red flag. Franklin says, but sister, why should you date someone for 3 years and still counting? Is he a degree or HND? Let him do the needful now, or you'll cry soon. Ella finally says, the lady should understand that he's training her to fish for herself rather than to keep fishing for her. Does she want her husband to give them money for their upkeep for the rest of their lives? He's investing in her education for the child. He married her even when the girl was the child's mama, so she should relax. Well, they're not actually married. He chose her, meaning it's her she loves and wants to spend the rest of his life with. But I pray my future husband does not do this. And we'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, yet another email. It's Sister Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM.
19 has changed the world, but despite the challenges, the spirit of Africanacity is still alive. It's in the tenacity of the men and women keeping us going. It's in the creativity you use to work, teach, and do it all. And it's in the ingenuity of all those who are making a difference. Thank you to everyone still getting things done. Your Africanacity inspires us.
We're about to change your Sunday night for the better.
Prophecy is not for useless things and loose, frivolous things. Prophecy is for weightier matters.
We will bring you the most captivating guests and explore the most amazing stories. Your way to stardom was really planned.
Calculated.
Yes.
It was falling in place.
I wanted like a specific future for myself. First, I'm gonna do my popularity. Second, help must come from it. Like upside down like this.
You know it. We will dazzle you with real life situations and examine mind-blowing topics.
Faminim says he can pay me. I want to show him cash. Good one.
So is that what it's about?
Oh yes, I'll prove to this guy. Cash.
Draw your swords. Deuteronomy 8:3. Charge.
Join me, Frema Binyame,
And me, Ato Kwamna, every Sunday at 7 p.m. on City TV. Are you ready?
Upside Down every Sunday, 7 p.m. only on City TV.
All right, welcome back to Sister Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. So once again, your comments are welcome, 054-998-6996. So this message here says, my name is Kwesi and I am a 25-year-old student. I met this lady on Facebook about a month and a half ago. She sent a friend request, I accepted, we exchanged contacts, got to know more about each other on WhatsApp. She's 28 years, she's married with 2 kids, and she got married right after senior high school. In a short period of time, we started talking about anything and everything. We sometimes talk so late into the night while her husband is asleep. At a point, she asked if I cared to see her nudes. I was curious, so I said yes. In a split second, she sent a barrage of them. This continued for a while until she started asking for a video call. But I was scared to accept because I know where that could lead to. Anytime I ask about her husband, her mood switches immediately to the point that she cries. I don't push it because she made me promise never to make her sad or bitter at any time. I became so vulnerable that I literally gave her all my time, and she doesn't seem tired of it. She asked to come to my place so we spend time together, but I'm not in support of it. So one day, I pushed her and she told me everything amidst tears, the hell of a home she's living in. She told me about how her husband started cheating on her since day one after they got married, the insults, the assault, the neglect she's had to endure all this while. She told me she told me that she mentioned to her mother-in-law, but she did nothing about it. She said that it's been 2 months since they last slept on the same bed, not to talk of having sex. Just last night, she sent me some messages telling me how much she loves me for being there for her and how she wished she could spend the rest of her life with me. She says she's going to confront her husband about his attitude, and she doesn't care if it will lead to divorce. And truly, she did. She also says she wants to marry me anytime I am ready. Jess, I really want to help this lady out genuinely, but I'm confused. I don't know how to. The fact is that I'm just a student and I don't have plans for marriage now. Even if I do, with all sincerity, I'm not sure I'll marry her. I can't ask her to leave her matrimonial home too because of the pain, and I'm scared I cannot fulfill her demands. I'm afraid she may fall into bad hands and her life may never be the same. I'm confused, I'm scared, and more frustrated as to what exactly to do or tell her right now. Please help me to help her, please. That's quite an interesting story. Married woman with a 25-year-old, well, she's 28, has 2 kids. Okay, Rosina, let me come to you. I hope you're following the story. How would you deal if you were this guy? Suddenly, married woman wants to leave her husband and is ready to marry you anytime.
It's a very dangerous ground. It's a very dangerous ground. You see, sometimes we women, we know exactly what we are doing. And he's probably telling you the right things. And like you said, you're a student. You are not there yet. So you are intrigued about a married woman, spending the whole time chatting and talking to you. And the fact that she was so quick to send him all those pictures is my worry.
Yep.
Like, why would a married woman be so quick to send her nudes? In fact, she actually said, you want to see? And then, oh yeah, sure, why not? And then you quickly send plenty. I mean, this woman, I think that is just bad news. And sometimes when you hear stories, until you hear the other side of the story, you don't have to believe entirely what you heard from one side. So all I'll say is that this submission is going to be very short. And is that, look, tread cautiously. Don't be the reason why some other, some other marriage is going to get broken, or the reason why some woman will have the energy or the vim to leave the husband. Then she will now come and carry you. Then you can't handle, because she's going to come with all her baggage. She even has kids and everything. Charlie, my take is that this woman, get her a psychologist to talk to. That's what she needs. She needs a psychologist or somebody to talk to her, or maybe a marriage counselor to help them deal in their marriage or something. But I don't think you're the right fit for her. Especially because you know that there's no way you're going to end up marrying her under any circumstance. Why waste your time and allow her? And she's putting you in that trap of, oh, you are the best thing that ever happened to me, trying to make you feel like you've been her emotional, pillar and all of that. Don't be trapped into that. I think that you have a right to fall in love normally, get your own girlfriend and have your own life.
All right. Well, Tina, let me come to you.
Okay. So I've been thinking around it, and I think he's a smart young man. He knows what he wants, very assertive. He says, I don't want her, but I know she's in a very dicey situation, so I want to let her down gently. Because he's assessed her situation and knows that if she's in an abusive environment and she's being cheated on all the time and she's not enjoying where she is, she's ready to, like, she's almost like not stable. So him coming out strongly to say, I don't want you, may not be the best approach.
Right.
So he wants to know how to let her down gently. And for me, that is the tricky part. I would have said, just tell her. I know.
Yeah, we know you. You don't mince words.
I know. I would have said, you know what, tell her that you're not ready, you're not in that place, you don't like her that much, you know.
It's not that deep.
It's not that, thank you. It's not that deep. But considering how sensitive you've taken the situation, I think that you should have a serious conversation with her. And just like you have recounted her story to us, let her know exactly where you are at with her, gently. You said it in a very sensitive way, so saying it the same way you've recounted the story to us is not a bad thing.
Right.
Let her know that you feel for her genuinely. You've had a conversation with her, you've taken a liking to her, but it's not the way she's taking it, the way she wants to leave her marriage for you. You see,
right.
Sometimes coming out, saying the truth and saying it as it is the best option there is. After all, you haven't been physical, you haven't met her, you know, well, if you have, then you didn't
state, yeah.
But then what you're saying is you met, this is on a social media platform, and ever since that's how you've communicated. So it's not that deep. You haven't cemented or solidified the relationship through any sexual encounter. And so it makes it okay to actually speak on phone with her and let her know exactly how you feel.
Right.
You know, and that wouldn't be so drastic. So I think that you should just have a true and deep conversation with her. Let her know how you genuinely feel. Say it gently with nice words. Sugarcoat it however you want to, but let her know that you're not that interested.
Right. Okay, well, Olivia, let me ask you this. Is there any easy way to say something like this from where you sit?
Yes, there's no easy way. There's no easy way whatsoever. But seeing how this woman has become so emotionally vested in this guy. I mean, she's in an abusive relationship. You know, she's not loved in her marriage, yada, 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 yada. She cried. She did the whole works. Yes. You see, that's why I always say that when you are in a marriage that's not going too well, finding a solution out of the marriage is not usually the best. When I say finding a solution, I mean like trying to find somebody else to replace your husband or your wife is not usually the best option, because what happens is that you complicate matters. Rather than, yes, this is the situation, this is the marriage, it's tough, it's not going the way it's supposed to go, but I already signed up for it. So what can I do to make things better? Do I need to hire a therapist? Do I need to go for therapy? Do I need to go for counseling? What can we both do together to make the marriage work? Rather than looking for a quick solution, looking for the attention and the affection from somebody else outside. Okay, and for a relationship like this, I mean, you young man, you have a good head on your neck. Okay, you literally know that you don't want a relationship with her. I mean, look at her. She's gone all nude, you know, trying so much for you to accept her. Okay, because that I feel like that was her language, to be able to sort of woo you in 110%. But you're like, okay, Charlie, this is a bit too much. Okay, like you're not sure. And the fact that, and I know that you know that the fact that she's married to is not a no-go. So moving forward, I think, right, if she calls you 10 times a day, don't pick up. You need to slowly wean yourself off the relationship. It's either you go, it's very drastic, or like Tina was saying, you take your time. If I were you, this is what I'll do. If she calls me, if I spend 10 minutes on the phone with her, I'll reduce it to 1 minute. and then in the next 2 weeks when she calls, I won't pick up. You find a way to in a subtle way, distance yourself from her, not entertain her video nude calls if she has, or not entertain her when she sends you WhatsApp messages. Make sure that you don't respond, or she will see that you've read it but you don't respond. I mean, as women as we are, Charlie, after a long while we kind of get like, okay, Charlie, what's happening? Is everything okay? Then you tell her that, oh, Charlie, I know you're stressed. Like, so give it time, and then with time she'll get to know. And then just when you feel like, okay, she sort of gets the message, and then you can tell her that, Charlie, it is what it is. And for me, you see, when two people say I do and they get married, you don't want to complicate yourself in it, because for me, from a spiritual point of view, and once the bond is there, there's no way you can come and parasite like that. I mean, and there's karma, and what goes around comes around, and then Charlie, too many wahala. She's married, yes, she's going through stress. Let her find some way of dealing with it. What you could do is to let her know, like Tina was saying, yes, you can appreciate where she's coming from, all the troubles in her marriage, but as a friend, this is what you want to do to be able to help her. This is this person's number. She can reach out to this person. This is a psychologist. This is a therapist, whatever. Just do, but wean yourself off her gradually. And once you say that the relationship is cut off, please cut the relationship off. Lock her number. Make it easy on her. However you want to look at it, she's looking for love out of her marriage. So she will still be brokenhearted, whether you do it sooner or later. But the earlier you get yourself out of that mess, the better for you and for your own sanity. Because, Charlie, some women can become very passionate. You don't know if she even knows where you live, Charlie, some way. So be careful, but I feel like the earlier you do it, the better. And next time, please be careful. This whole chatting with strange people of the internet and this and that, be careful and just tread with caution next time. But you're a good kid.
Yeah. So this is what I think, when I'm just listening to all you ladies, I feel like he's feeling guilty mainly because he encouraged her along the way. He led her on. And now it's like, she's catching feelings and he's not on the same page with her. What Olivia said, for me, spot on. You want to reduce your interactions with her as you go along. She'll send you a message. Let's say if you respond to her, let's say she messages you 5 times a day. Start responding slower. On some days, don't respond at all. That kind of thing. And try and wean yourself off. And also, if you care that much, then, maybe you can go the extra mile to find some kind of maybe therapist, whatever, for her so she can deal with her marital issues. But you don't want to get in the middle of that. And you're not ready, as you already say so. We'll leave that there. I'll try and squeeze in one more message, and this one's from Don in Dubai. It's actually pretty short. It says, Jess, I'm a sex addict, and most of my exes want to come back because of my sexual prowess. I'm dating this lady, and she also loves sex so much, but hardly reaches an orgasm even when I put in my all. She always complains that she's not satisfied. Hey, Jess, I'm really confused. What should I do? Olivia, I'm coming to you.
Charlie. You always do that, Jess. You always do that.
Oh man, this is a beautiful world. Yeah.
So basically, Charlie. Okay. So basically, you can't get her to the promised land, eh? This one, dear. Samuel. Considering that you've been able to let other people get to the promised land, and this one, quad, dear. Like taking an endless pit. I don't know how to help you.
Oh boy. Yeah. That's a tough one.
But I don't know. You see, every woman is different. On a serious point, every woman is different, and every woman, I think, every woman handles intimacy differently. I don't know. Maybe there's something that you need to find out. Maybe explore more in terms of her anatomy, and then you can take it from there. Because not every woman gets to the promised land via the regular route. You need to touch a few places, do a few things to be able to get there. So take it slow, explore, and try and find the vantage points, and then talk a bit more. And you should be able to. I'm happy that you actually brought this up, because you should be able to have that kind of a conversation with her. And then ask her, okay, I'm happy that at least she's told you that, you can't get her there. So if you both talk about it and then you work on it and it still doesn't work, then I don't think that that's something that you should be in,
right.
Especially when it has to do with long term.
Cool.
So that's just.
All right, Rosina, let me come to you. You've got 1 minute. What do you think?
You have met your meter and you are complaining. Why? You see, sometimes people who are sex addicts, they feel that they have the answers to everybody's sexual needs. But you'd be surprised that you meet that one person whose requirement for orgasm is totally different from what you are used to. So maybe what you need to do is to find out from her what gets her to take. Because if she's also an addict, I'm sure there's something that she likes. But maybe because of the way you've confirmed that you're an addict and you yourself, your exes come, like they haven't been able to get satisfied elsewhere. Like you have good referrals, like your reference is tight. So because your reference is tight, I think that the lady too may be feeling some way about offering suggestions, like as to this is how I want it, because then it will mean that Charlie, then you dear, your level is not. So I think that you should just calm down a little and ask the lady, Charlie, what exactly would you like when it comes to that? You'll be surprised that she might probably give you something that you probably haven't thought of before, haven't tried, but for some reason that is the remedy for her to get to reach her orgasm.
Right.
But Charlie, stop concentrating on satisfying those other references and put all your energy in this one basket.
I feel you.
This is your meter.
This is the meter. The real meter.
Yeah, read it and read it well.
Tina, you have the final word.
My seniors have spoken. So I don't have much to say on the topic. But what if your referrals, they were just giving you fake fans?
Oh, my sister.
Because this world we live,
yeah,
people are full of fake fans.
That is
so
true.
maybe you think you're actually doing something, but you they take the tutorials like that. They will help you.
Yes, my dear guys. So you heard from my sisters, Charlie. Sometimes you think that it's like being a village champion. You've been winning all the time. You're first all the time in your school. So you think that when it comes to interco, Charlie, you go below the chain, only to realize that it be a faster chain. It be right, yeah. So, just talk to the lady. What can you do to improve, to be better? And I think you should put your references aside, because this is the real test. All right, we'll end it here. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to Sister Sister. We'll be back same time next week on your favorite channel, City TV and City FM. Don't forget to like our Facebook page at Sister Sister Live. You'll see this very image here as our DP. Like the page, join the interactions. We always need your opinions on some of the stories and emails that come our way. Have a great evening. Ladies, thanks for your time and goodbye.
This week on Art and Soul.
Fashion is something that you have to go under training.